Hello, class, and welcome to Module 3. So I'm going to pull up our Moodle page, scrolling down to where we can see Module 3. A couple notes about, assignments that were due last night. You guys had a chemistry test, a literature review due. Please, if you haven't taken that yet, or, you have any questions about an extension, please let me know, and I will accept late work. So please, continue to do your work. Turn it in as you're able. And if you have any questions or if you need an extension, please let me know. You guys are doing great in all the discussions and note taking. So keep up the great work. And I'm just going to use this time to walk us through your activities for this week. So in Module 3, Week 3, here we are, September 11th, Monday morning. All your assignments, like usual, are due on Sunday, September 17th at midnight. Like usual, so we're moving on to chapter 2 in your textbook. We're going to go over sections 2.1 and 2.2 this week. So watch the lesson videos, which I will upload by Monday night. Take notes for those two sections. And again, those notes are kind of like your homework that I give you for each section. You can take them from that pre-made document. Make sure you're selecting the correct ones. And you only need to upload the sections for 2.1 and 2.2. Complete the Module 3 discussion, which I will have posted soon, and try to get your initial post in by Wednesday, just so that we can have some discussion through the week. And then there will be a quiz available by the end of the week to take. These quizzes are pretty simple. There'll be maybe 5 questions based on, the notes that you've been taking, the lecture videos that you read, and maybe some of the activities that you've been doing. So a pretty simple quiz just based on these 2 sections that we're going over this week. And again, feel free to join on these weekly calls at 10 a.m. I will continue to keep these calls at 10 a.m. Central Time just for my own sake, to give me dedicated time to record these videos for you. So in the one thing that I did want to walk you through is your lab or activity for this week. Everything else is pretty much straightforward. Look for your discussion, read the textbook, watch the lecture videos, take your notes and submit the notes, and then take the quiz. But the one thing that'll be fun this week is this physical and chemical changes kind of virtual activity. Try to reload it. Perfect. Okay. So this is kind of a fun activity that takes you through kind of a virtual lab situation, which will be based on the information that we go through in sections 2.1 and 2.2 this week, specifically talking about physical versus chemical changes. And I'll talk more about that in our lecture videos. But a chemical change is when something new is formed from products and reactants. You have something new being formed. And a physical change is when there's no actual change to the reactants or products themselves. They just change appearance. And again, your lecture videos and textbook will go into more detail on the differences between physical and chemical changes. But for this activity, feel free to put your name. It kind of sets up about maybe 7 or so lab stations for you. And they should be loaded so that you can kind of see a change occurring. And for each lab station, you basically need to observe what's going on in the lab station and then make observations about what is happening and deciding whether it's a physical or a chemical change. So for example, this is lab station number 1 with a pan of boiling water. And then below the pan of boiling water, you'll see some questions. Did you observe the formation of a gas? Did you observe a color change in when you're viewing what is going on at this lab station? Did you observe a precipitate form? A precipitate is some sort of solid or kind of substance that's being formed from that particular lab station and what's happening. Did you observe multiple indicators for a chemical change? And which of the following did you observe? Was it a physical or a chemical change? And again, watching the lecture videos and reading the textbook will be helpful to do before doing this lab activity. But then it just takes you through several more lab stations. Here we have a rusting iron nail in a beaker of water, and then making observations and answering same type of questions. The next lab station, it looks like we've placed a quarter of an Alka-Seltzer tablet. So Alka-Seltzer, put it in some water and then making observations. And for this lab station, you can see that we've added baking soda to a glass of vinegar and then making observations with that chemical change or physical change. Here we have a small scoop of salt is placed in a cup of water and make observations. So what it's doing is this lab activity is taking you through different lab stations. There should be an explanation about what each lab station is. This one says it's a video, so let me know. It says to stop, so it might just be a screenshot of the video, but let me know if you have any questions loading this activity. But again, you're looking at different lab stations that will give you a description of what's happening. You'll kind of see what's happening, and then you will describe the changes that are occurring. Another lab station. So hopefully this will give you a little bit, and it might take a while to load this one, for example. Let me know if you guys are able to load everything, please. So that's kind of what we have going on this week in lab, talking about properties of matter and how they go through physical or chemical changes. Again, read your textbook, those sections, watch my lecture videos, take and submit your notes, work through your Module 3 discussion, complete that lab activity, and then there would be a quiz at the end of the week as well on those sections. Thank you guys for listening. Like usual, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're falling behind or you have questions on submitting an assignment late, or there's a particular topic that you're not understanding, please let me know and I'd be happy to meet with you at a time that works best for you. So thank you for listening, guys. God's blessings on your week.